Hello, I'm AVX and welcome back to a feature preview. Feature previews are a weekly series around on my channel where I show you features that are going to be included in the next major update coming out for Minecraft on the console. This is something I like to do whenever an update's about to come out to let you know about all of the features in the update that you might think are just like, oh, well, there's not too much going on with that, but really every feature has a lot of depth and complexity to it, and I think there's good reasons to be excited about all of them or to be prepared for all of them, and that's why I wanted to talk about the most unassuming feature in TU54/TU53, which is of course the Iron Nugget. This might seem like it's an entirely pointless feature, like, oh yeah, do we really need a thing that's just a tiny part of an iron bar? But really, there actually is a great use for it, and I'm going to be talking about what that great use is in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. You can like the video if so, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets us know you do like learning about iron nuggets, but more importantly, the feature previews in general. I think I'm going to be making a lot more of these, so make sure you check the link in the description, which will take you to the playlist where I've been going through each of these things. So with that said, let's get straight into talking about what the iron nugget is and why it's so important, because honestly, when you first hear about the iron nugget, and when I first heard about it, I thought, this literally has no relevance to me, because it allows you to smelt any iron tool up. So if you want to take, let's say, a iron pickaxe, you can smelt this up and you can get an iron nugget from it. And you might think, wow, that's actually pretty good. We can turn our old items into new items. Isn't that wonderful? But the truth is, like 3 bits of iron used to craft an iron pickaxe is a lot more valuable than an iron nugget. And if you want to know exactly how much more valuable it is, well, you actually need to get 9 of these. So we're gonna have to throw out a bunch of stuff right here. You actually need to get 9 of these items if you want to craft yourself an iron bar. So yeah, that means that it's worth about 1/27th of its original cost. If it's a sword or a shovel, then it's 1/9 or 1/18th, but it still means that you're getting a very poor return on investment, because it's not meant to be a good investment. You're not meant to craft iron swords just to smelt them into iron nuggets. And by the way, just if you want a little bit of proof right here, here's how the gold nugget works. So you put 9 in there just like this. It's the same thing if you want to make an iron, so you get a gold bar from that. It's the same thing if you want to make a iron nugget, and the same thing works in reverse. If you want, you can take your iron bar, your iron ingot, sorry, you can put it in there, and you can get 9 iron nuggets, which you can then use to craft it like this. Again, there shouldn't be any reason you'd want to do it this way, because iron nuggets in and of themselves aren't useful for anything but to make iron ingots. And you might just look at here all of these things I've just said and say, okay, Toycat, you were trying to argue that this tiny little item right here was worthwhile, but really you've just convinced me the opposite. Like, it's an item that only exists to craft another item, but you can only get this item in invaluable ways. Well, that's silly, goodbye Toycat, I enjoy the video. But no, they actually do have a use, and there's a couple of them in survival, but I think they really come down to the technicalities on how this works. So bear in mind that it's not just that you can smelt up any iron tool you want, so you can't, it's not just that you can turn your iron sword into an iron, like a nugget, which again has some value by itself, but it's the fact that, these items are actually often dropped by zombies or by, sometimes skeletons, but mostly by zombies, because when you kill a zombie, they've got a chance of having a shovel, for instance, they've got a chance of having a sword on them, and if you take all of these items, you put them in a chest, then instead of just having useless iron items, because let's be honest, I have a diamond pickaxe, I have a diamond sword, why do I need this iron pickaxe and this iron sword? The answer is, you don't. So you throw them in the furnace, and instead of having something that you're never going to use, or you're probably never going to use, that's, something like that, you can turn it into iron nuggets. But even then you might say, Toycat, so I've got to get this giant iron farm going, and if I'm lucky, let's say I have like, 50 iron sword drops, that gives me literally 5, iron bars. So that means this is still useless, Toycat. You're over exaggerating, it's terrible. But truth be told, the use comes in not only from that, but also the fact that you can smelt tools that aren't used and that have enchantments on them. So yeah, another little technicality is, oh, by the way, this also works with armor. Let me just quickly clarify that right now. And it's not just that it works with iron armor, it also works with chain. You really shouldn't want to smelt chain into iron nuggets, but if you get armor drops from zombies, again, very frequently, you can turn these into iron nuggets. So if you have that zombie farm and it's got a high difficulty on it, because there's regional difficulty, it means that playing on hard now gives you more of a reward, because all of this armor you're getting as a result of it is now going to be smeltable into iron nuggets, which is pretty wonderful. So yeah, you can smelt any of these pieces of armor, you can smelt up any tool, anything made from iron or anything made from chain, you can put in there and you can make the magic happen. Except, of course, you can't put like an iron bar in there. You can't just smelt that directly, because that doesn't make any sense. You also can't smelt iron blocks. There's a lot of things like that where you wouldn't want to smelt them, but you can smelt any tool or any piece of armor, and also you can smelt any tool with enchantments on it. So we got this unbreaking pickaxe, but we can throw it in the the furnace regardless. You might think, well, that doesn't even seem useful, Toycat. What's the point of that? But truth be told, this actually has some value, because it means that no matter what your pickaxe is like, you can still turn it into a thing. But the real alternative where this is like, okay, so it's good for mob spawners slightly, but it's also good for if you are using iron tools, because you want to mostly use them, and then you can smelt them down and get a tiny bit of value back. So yeah, we got this iron shovel right here. Again, this costs a full iron bar, or 9 nuggets. We can use it, let's say 255 of the 256 times, whatever the exact number is. We can use it all but one of the durability, and no matter how much it has left, it can still be smelted into this iron nugget. So now that means there is a slightly more efficient way to use your iron tools, because you can smelt them down afterwards, which I think is a lot better than having a lot of awful tools and chests. And you've also got a way to turn your zombie spawners into direct gold. And it's a tiny thing to the update, but it really means that now if you want to get a lot of iron a lot easier, you can do that in a way. Again, now I've smelled up all that stuff from my thing, and now we can do it just like this, and that's wonderful. So again, you might hear of that and say, but how am I really going to get this to work? And just as a little pro tip before today's video ends, here's how you prepare for it. You set up an auto smelter somewhere near a zombie farm, or you set up a zombie farm first, and you want to set it up just like this. So you've got a big chest at the top, which goes in like that, and you want to just put all of your stuff that goes from your spawner that is made from gold or made from iron, and you want to just throw it in there because then it will smelt into the relevant stuff. So yeah, you're going to see right there, we put all of this stuff in there, all the tools that we just don't know why we want, and it's going to slowly go into the furnace, it's going to smelt into the iron nuggets, and then we'll end up with a little valuable thing. So yeah, that's iron nuggets. Pretty darn useful if you ask me when it comes. I mean, not they're useful in the context that you can get this little bit of extra value from the game, which if you need a lot of iron or you just want to get more out of what you have, then it's wonderful. And also it feels really great to just smelt all these little tools that are otherwise worthless, but you can't throw them away, into something that has some value. And though you wouldn't want to throw this away either, it does do something like that. So the other change they made this update, just to throw this one out there, is they've changed it so that you can now smelt wool as well. This is confirmed for the next update. So if you want, you can smelt your tools with using any color of wool. I recommend orange though, because it matches the fire in the furnace. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this feature preview. It started raining a little bit in there, but like the video if you did like it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments down below if you're excited about iron nuggets, because after this video I was like, yeah, I think a little bit. I think, you know, having a zombie farm now got a little bit more valuable. I think all my iron tools in the chest I can now justify throwing away, but I think this is more just a little bit of like tiny minutia to add to the rest of the update, which is great, which is good for survival players. If you're a survival player who can master everything else, this is the sort of thing where it's just that little bit extra for you as a reward for playing the game so much, and I think that's a wonderful little thing to have in the game. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I guess share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, and also check out the playlist to see more feature previews just like this one. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Goodbye.